Good. Okay. All right. I'm going to start out by giving all praises to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah, Quadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the Akim out there pushing the word of sincerity and truth. It's the brothers from GMS Atlanta. We got a quick lesson, for you Akim. It's entitled, which you'll see the topic at hand, which is health is wealth. And, what inspired us to do this topic, we're speaking a lot about health, the principles and the matters of health, taking care of yourself, making sure that you're active spiritually, physically, and things of that nature, because it's wealth that comes with that. It's wealth that comes with your spirit. Your spirit needs nutrients. Your spirit needs vitamins. Your spirit needs to really express itself through different formats of life in order to increase. It's not just about reading. Of course, reading and studying the scriptures is one aspect, but you have to learn to exercise the scriptures at hand, and that's what builds your mindset. That's what builds your foundation. That's what builds your spirit on a whole. When you learn physically about herbs, because it's not only this topic that we're going into is not only about physically taking herbs and nourishing and building your spirit, but also about understanding how our forefathers lived when it was going into taking herbs, living in certain conditions and things of that nature, fasting, eating posts, and like the scriptures speak about in the book of Daniel, and how they relieve themselves through symptoms and sicknesses, and spiritually also through prayer, because that's a form of health. Even fasting has, I would say, health benefits. It's a lot of benefits to actually shutting down your digestive clock for a 24-hour duration. It actually helps your body regenerate. It helps your organs reprocess and clean and repair itself. So all these different things actually weigh the balance of your spirit, so that you can actually perform and benefit fully and optimally through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, because that's what it's all about. Making sure that we purify ourselves, purge and cleanse ourselves more and more until the coming of the day of YAHAWASHI.
Yeah, because if I could say, the more that we become conscious in the scriptures, all right, the more that we become aware of the scriptures and purifying ourselves and becoming new men, all right, we have to also make we have to also make adjustments and conscious health conscious decisions in the flesh as well. All right, because this isn't just a spiritual. It's not only spiritual, but we have to, we're still in this flesh. All right, so we have to take care of our bodies, man. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
But
I got something really fast.
Right.
And this is Deuteronomy 8:3. Matter of fact, I'll start at 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall you observe to do, that ye may live, and multiply, and go in, and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers.
Yeah, which if I could chime in on that, because the law is life, man. The Most High set up the law, basically. The law was perfection. When you keep the law to its entirety, that was set up to basically have you live, eternally.
That's the bread of life. That's the breath of life that was breathed to Adam.
And the spirit.
The spirit, which came, a lot of times when you're dealing with spirituality, is high sciences, understanding certain formats of technology and all these different things. Adam had all that divine knowledge. Abraham also. Because with spirituality, you understand concepts, you understand building blocks, you understand everything comes with the basic spirituality. All right? That's why it says he that basically has an unction from the Most High knoweth all things. This is the most complicated thing to grasp, is the spirit. When you have the understanding of the spirit, you basically understand the workings of everything. Speaks about that in Wisdom of Solomon.
True.
All right, how he understood astrology, how he understood the workings and the reasonings of men. Speaks about the diversities of plants, because he understood that it was a spirit in everything, and everything was in subjugation in the spirit and in the natural. It was intertwined or interwoven and knit under the inspiration of the Most High.
That's right. Yeah.
So understanding that, you have a clear distinction, and you have a high understanding on how everything else revolves under the dynamics of the Great Spirit, as Gad would call it. You want to say something?
Nah, you got to bring out what you got.
All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live, and multiply, and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore unto your fathers.
Yeah, because the Most High, he set it up very simply. You know, we were supposed to keep the laws and be fruitful and multiply and serve YAHAWASHI and serve our Creator. Yeah. You know, simple lives. You know, and like we were expounding on the laws, and the ordinances that the Most High set up. It was made for us to live perfect. All right, to live in peace and harmony. Go ahead.
And I wanted to bring out a point to add to what you were saying, because he said to live simple lives. A lot of times with simplicity is longevity. Mm-hmm. Like you have this one tribe, if I'm not mistaken, in South America, and they don't have access to yeah, it's the Northern Kingdom tribe. They don't have access to internet. They don't have access to basically the social and economic ills of the world. And they say that they see that cortisol levels is very, very reasonable. Basically, when you deal with them on a health aspect, their spirit is in sequence with the earth. They don't have to deal with the destruction. They don't have to deal with the emissions and the problems, the political and the social and racial tensions. All these different things add stress onto your mind, and that actually shortens your lifespan. So just like the brother said, that's why we speak about when the kingdom of heaven is at hand, peace is going to be established. Mm-hmm. With worrying and with peace and destruction and things of that nature, that kills you even being outside of the environment. You have things direct and indirect. That's why people speak about how secondhand smoke is more toxic than actually directly inhaling the inhalation of the poison, so to speak. Mm-hmm. You know, so in the kingdom of heaven, when we're fully established, everything is going to be pure and everything is in a sequence and in harmony. That's how we're going to actually live forever, because everything is going to be conducive to life.
Yeah, and if I could just add to that, bro, real quick, because the earth actually has a natural vibration. Yeah. All right, and like you pointed out, that tribe, they're more than likely. Well, what it is they're in tune with nature. They're in tune with the earth and the earth's natural vibration. Now, us living in the city and all these cell phones and frequencies, harmful electromagnetic frequencies, they interfere with our body's frequency. I mean, it's like it. Yeah, well, yeah, they interfere with our body's natural frequency. All right, and they conflict with the earth's natural frequency. So when you live away from the city, you actually are more in tune with the earth's frequency. Exactly. You're more in tune with nature. Mm-hmm. But you got it, bro.
All right. It says, verse 2, and thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy power led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no. And he humbled thee and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knowest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Lord doth man live.
Yeah, so we don't live by bread. We live by the Spirit of the Most High. All right, and the Most High provided all these things for us, for our needs, for our benefit. Mm-hmm. Our nutrition and supplement. Okay, that's what the Most High created these things for. Okay, because we are in the flesh, so we do need supplement to basically help us be better in the spirit. Okay, but it said, but the Lord gave examples. All right, like Moses, and bringing these miracles, in the ancient times to show us that, look, I'm providing these things for you, for your benefit.
And it was naturally through the Spirit. Mm-hmm. You know, physically taking on herbs and things, all these different things add to your spirit. And that's what it's all about, supplementing your spirit. When you take supplements, it's adding to your, whatever you have, you have a muscular system and things of that nature, digestive system, and you take supplements to benefit whatever component or whatever compartment of the system that you're looking to excite.
That's right.
And overall, when you're benefiting your health, if you're benefiting your bones, like I said earlier, your digestive tract, your cardiovascular, your circulatory, your nervous system, all these different things add to your net worth. All right. When you even go into a definement of a house net worth, you look at the assets, whether it's the paintings, whether if you like we in this household, of course, and I'm just using this for example, which I don't want to go into the details, of course, but let's say for instance the color scheme, so to speak, the fireplace, the square footage, all these different things build, and they show the network of the house. So the same thing with your spirit, how healthy you are, how actually your blood pressure is. You have a new, everybody's body has a numerical code to it, coding system, so to speak, and that shows whether you're actually healthy or you're actually sick.
Your overall maintenance.
Just like a car. You have
a check engine light. And a lot of you Americans, you got your check engine light on, man. You're walking around, your oil ain't been changed. You know, your oil ain't been changed in years. You got a radiator overheating.
You put 87 instead of 90.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is pork.
Which is water. Pork and just low acidic foods. That's basically lower grade gasoline that you're putting in your body. You know.
McDonald's.
McDonald's. But a lot of you people, you know, your body isn't functioning properly. All right, because you're not getting the nutrition, the nutrients that you need. All right, and just like the brother was saying, you know, our bodies are working machines. Our bodies are organism.
That's what engineers our spirit.
An organism is many organs working together. It's a system. Okay, the heart pumps blood to the organs. The organs send blood back to the heart,
and it all starts from the brain.
And it all starts from the brain, which is
that's why you have a central nervous system.
Kind of beautiful.
You got some organs that cleanse the blood.
Yeah, exactly.
You got some organs that
kidneys
that detoxify you. You got organs that regulate your body temperature.
Yeah.
You know, you got your skin that actually protects, which is an organ. Your skin is an organ, and it protects the whole of your organs. The casing.
The skin is the biggest organ of all organs because it's the outer layer. It's the barrier. So that's with the barrier. That's the most important. That's why a lot of times, even when you eat the skin of fruits, more so fruits. I wouldn't say vegetables, but fruits. A lot of times, like apple skin, you have people that shave the apple. That's the most nutritious part because the sun is directly embedding itself within that the outer layer, and that's how we know that. Going to another topic, but that Esau is a curse. Because the outer shell actually is an indicator, man. It's an indicator of health. The scriptures speak about in Sirach how a man's facial expressions and things of that nature show what manner of person he is. So even looking at people, you can and seeing how they physically make their physical makeup, you can actually tell if certain people are sick or not. People that's actually sharp, super sharp, and elevated on a health perspective, they can look through your eyes. They can look in your eyes and see if you are on certain drugs. If you have certain diseases embedded in you, they can look at your tongue, your saliva, your bowel.
Because their senses are more exercised. Yeah, it's beautiful, bro. Because when your body, just like the brother was saying, how you have different organs that work together and heal. The body heals itself as well. But when your body is working in tip-top shape, then you're able to actually exercise your senses better, and you're able to actually, think better and use your brain more effectively. Yep. Like we were talking about how your brain is your most important organ, right? When you can boost your brain power and keep your body running and maintaining well,
like a will.
All right, you have everything about every aspect of living. You know, mentally, spiritually, and physically.
It's super enhanced.
It's just enhanced.
I got a quick quote.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Which was going into if you exercise and really take and enhance your body to its maximum potential. But it says, if the lion knows his own strength, no man can control him. So it's all about knowing your strength and knowing how powerful and how much potential you have. The word potential goes back to the root word to be potent. What's potent within you? Your spirit. And you have to remove all these demons. That's why we actually weave in it. And you got to take these things to break down these demons in your body, whether it's parasites, viruses, bacteria, fungi, just like the brother was saying, heavy metals, aluminum.
Yeah.
All these different things are encoded within, around us in the system, but you have to fight against it through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, ultimately through prayer and fasting, and physically. That's why you have anti-inflammatory. When you have inflammation and you have sicknesses, you have to take something that's antibiotics, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatories, which the anti means to be against. So it's burning and it's actually enhancing, whether it's your white blood cells or it's actually purifying and actually attacking. Because you need to, in order to cleanse your body, you have to attack your body. You have to aggravate the spirits that's in your spirit or in your body. That's why a lot of times with your body, you'll go through what's that word we said? Which people also go through with drugs. Withdrawals. When you purge through sugar, you have to take certain things that's natural sugar, and you're actually attacking those sugar demons in your body. That's why you have a craving, you have a lust, which a lust is a demon, man. But after a while, after you purge that out, whether it's a sugar demon or a heavy, whatever specific type of demon, particularly through food, but even pork, unclean spirits. After a while, it'll resolve itself and your body will work and it'll connect back in its harmony. And
it's beautiful you said that.
And it'll smooth itself out to the point where your body can actually accept, it learns to accept things that's actually beneficial instead of opposition.
Yeah,
you know
what they call
it. The brother just had. You could jump in.
Go ahead, bro. I just wanted to make a point because y'all brothers was going into exercise, and I brought up the etymology of the word exercise, and it means condition of being in active operation. But the point that really stood out to me says exercise, execution of power, physical or spiritual exercise. And when you that word exercise, and the brother was just saying, with your body, when you exercise certain things, the word exorcism comes. You literally have to conduct an exorcism on yourself when you're turning from being from an unhealthy to a healthy being.
Beautiful.
It's the same thing with your spiritual, the spiritual sense. When you first get into this truth, you were going through an exorcism. Okay, you're casting demons off you. You're turning, and it says right here again, it says condition of being in active operation. It says execution of power.
Yeah.
You're executing power by turning back to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, by tapping into your power source.
Yeah.
So what, coming into this truth, like health is wealth. This was the ultimate form of exercising.
Which that word exercise, size is short for scissors to cut, and X is out, or exorcism. To X is out in the schism. It's the same thing. To cut it out. You gotta cut them demons out of you, man. You actually going inside, like a lot of times with chemotherapy that have radiation sicknesses, whether radiation therapy, whether it's burning or actually physically cutting the chemo out. You take things that do the work for you. Organisms, they're living.
Yeah.
They actually live and they're fighting off demons within you, whether it's sleep, where your body is actually activating hormones and things of that nature, because they're actually pressing down those depressed demons in them spirits that's actually fucking with you. Everything connects to your spirit. This is your central location. That's right. This is your economy. This is the first economy above all is your spirit.
Your bodeg.
Your bodeg, your house. You gotta fight within, man. It's this. The fight is not from without within. It's from within. Without.
That's true. Because like the brothers were saying. All right. you know, with us exercising, all right, and just like how we're spiritually exercising and we're coming into this truth, right? We're exercising our minds for the first time. We're exercising our
senses,
our senses, and you know, even our pineal gland, all right, because once you start to your pineal gland is known as your spiritual the spiritual part of your brain, or your third eye, as they like to call it. But basically, you know, once you start to exercise certain information, your brain and your neurons get excited, and they start to spark. And when you start to exercise your brain in your spirit, okay, then you know, you start to become stronger as a person.
Exactly.
And I'll say this. I wanted to make this point, is that the hardest part is at the very beginning of when you're you know, the hardest part is the beginning.
Hey, that's
stages.
what and I just want to say that's what it tells you in Ecclesiastes, that the end of the man is better than the beginning.
Yeah.
Because with anything you deal with,
Growth.
the beginning stages, you struggle. You struggle like
Yeah.
that. Whether it's bodybuilding, boxing, you have to learn how to get your rhythm.
It's simply learning from your mistakes.
And you make a lot of mistakes in the beginning stages.
Yeah. And it's like when you work out for the first time, you ain't worked out in months. When you work out for the first time, that soreness you get, it's like no other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're like, damn. But then guess what? You work out the next day, it's not so bad. Work out the third time, you're like, okay, you know, because your body is adjusting to it. It's conditioning. You know, you about to say something?
Well, I was just about to say that, you know, your body's always trying to reach a state of homeostasis, which means normal. Like, all your systems are working in perfect harmony with one another.
Exactly.
You know?
Yep.
So when, if you're on drugs and you're trying to get off of them, your body is working to purge to get out of it. If you're eating toxic foods and you decide that, hey, you want to change your diet, your body's going to work to purge it out of it. And like you were saying, the beginning of a thing, the ending of a thing of a man is better than the beginning. And that's a perfect point, because your body, if you just stick to it, your body's working to purge all these things out of it.
The hardest part is getting started.
Yeah,
That's a saying.
You have something known as a circadian rhythm, when your body has a natural rhythm that is supposed to. If somebody can get Psalms 104, where it says, "Man is he goes to work in the evening." Get that real fast, and then we'll get that. But I want to get this one scripture, Ecclesiastes 7, either 104 or 105. Ecclesiastes 7:8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Because a lot of things, especially on a health dynamic, which we're speaking about, it's better. It's going to get better, the outcome, than when you first come in. You go through the training basis, so to speak. Hey, even it tells you how wisdom tests you, and it puts you through torture, that it may try your law, that you may be tried by her laws and learn discipline. Anything that you intake or you learn in this world takes discipline. If you want to learn how to be a violinist, a pianist, basketball player, entertainer, you have to sit down and study and build up the craft, which a lot of times your body likes to go against the grain.
It takes patience.
So it takes patience. And in the spirit of the topic at hand, we're speaking about how, you know, a lot of times with health, your body is looking to go back to its normal cycle. When you actually go through a cycle, your body takes its natural path of, okay, in the morning time I want a sandwich.
Yeah, because you're what it
juice.
is you're disrupting pattern behavior. So once you begin to disrupt your natural, well, I'll say your unnatural ways, you know, once you begin to disrupt that, all right, and just change, because the way the brain works is you have neurons. So your brain sends signals to your organs and to everything, all your whole body, to do certain things. All right. So once you actually make a change, all right, make an abrupt change, all right, that's a new neuron that you've made. All right,
Yeah,
so it has to grow. It has to grow new connections. The brain has to make new adjustments to basically relearn, basically.
Mm.
That's what
See
they
what I'm
say.
saying?
Like when you learn something new, you get a new wrinkle in your brain. So
Mhm.
when you're doing a new activity, you get a new learning experience or whatnot.
Exactly.
So your body's gonna try to adjust to it as well.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I bring a point out real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Because what the brother was saying with the discipline, because with that, it's like how everything in the scripture ties back into having faith and having a name. If you have faith, you have everything else. You know what I'm saying? With the discipline, you need diligence. Okay? So I just a quick scripture. This is Titus chapter 2, verse 7. It says, "In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, and doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, and sincerity." But the main point at hand is showing a pattern of good works. So if you're disciplined, you're going to show a pattern of good works, which means you're being diligent as well. If you're going to work out, you're going to have a pattern of working out, so your body can adjust to working out. It's the same. There you go. It's the same thing with the truth. If you're going to have a pattern of good works, you're going to continually be doing your lessons. You're going to be continually reading, linking up with brothers, searching things. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a good pattern of it because you're staying disciplined and diligent in what you're doing. So therefore, your spirit's going to start adjusting and growing.
See, and with, just like the brother said, with diligence, and the scriptures say to wax old and not work, because you have to be diligent from a youth to being of an age. Because even at a certain age, you can't break the rhythm that's been built and actually, I would say, fasten in your spirit from an adolescent up to an aged man. That's one of the hardest things. As a child, you learn quicker than as an adult. So when you take on things and you go through things for 20, 30, 40 years, it's kind of hard to disconnect that connection that's been already built.
It's
and
deeply rooted.
hard-lined and deeply rooted within your spirit. But you got that in Psalms.
Yeah, because
And then,
if I could just say this, a lot of these people, they can't. They're beyond you. You're beyond correction. You couldn't make a change if you wanted to, just because those demons are just so deeply lodged in.
and it's the will. You gotta have that will, man. That's above all.
You have to want to make the change.
That's what it boils down to. Because it's not even only the demons. Because hey, we face demons. You know,
That's true.
from the apostles on down. Mosiah is the savior of all spirits.
That's true.
But it's the will. It's
Slap.
no. But that's a good point. But just above all, it's really these assholes that really just don't want to take the initiative to change. You had certain people that was heroin addicts, obese, had all kind of symptoms, and they did a 180 due to the fact of their will. You had certain people that was fucking. I seen videos on YouTube. People have both of their arms cut off, and they still exercising in the gym with a six pack. Yeah, and you have certain people on the opposite, where they'll be jacked up and they'll be sick because they didn't have a will. And people recognize, the thing is with your body, you recognize things. That's why you have a mirror. You look at things in a mirror to reflect on yourself. Every day you reflect on yourself. And a lot of people, what they do, they go in the bathroom and they won't even look at the mirror. You have people that actually do that. They'll go around and they're scared of themselves.
They don't want to face them. They don't want to face their
demon. Self-confrontation. That's their biggest fear. But we confront ourselves. We confront our demons, man. We know who we are, and that's how you got to be in the spirit. You got to look at yourself, man. What do they say? Look at yourself in the mirror.
Examine thyself.
Examine thyself. No,
daily.
examine thyself daily, man. That's the importance of looking.
Which is,
Look at where you at. Look at yourself. If you, hey, I ain't gonna lie. In the spirit, I always look at myself in the mirror. I examine myself. I always do that to myself when I look. I be looking in my eyes. Looking, if I'm looking aged,
that's true.
I be like, I gotta work on this. I look at my skin. I used to always be like that, even as a child, because you gotta look. You gotta examine yourself, man. You got demons on you. If not, if you know you got spirits on you, you gotta chop that stuff out, man.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Because you have to examine yourself, and that's really the point that we're making. Health is wealth. Examine yourself physically. Not only should you examine yourself spiritually, all right, because that's the first thing you need to examine yourself with. But you know, you also have to examine yourself physically. You know, how am I? You know, how do I look? How am I presenting myself? Am I fatigued? You know, because ultimately, you can't do the will of the Most High if your body's finished. If you're always tired all the time, you can't read or study. You have to actually have a well rested. You have to be hydrated.
Consistent.
You know, your brain has to be well nourished and you know, well hydrated for you to be able to you know, perform and retain information.
It says always be ready to give an answer. You have to be perform. This truth is about being performance based. But you need them herbs and stuff. You got it, bro.
Can I answer your
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Well, you know, speaking on examining yourself, like, you know, like when you really examine yourself, man, you can find ailments on your body that you wouldn't have even known had you not took the time to examine yourself. Like, you know, you get some women out there who might be in the mirror and, you know, they feel fine, but they start examining their breasts and they find a lump. You know what I'm saying? And they come in and they find out that they in the first stage of cancer, but they're able to get it treated before they get to that second and third stage.
Good point, bro. Because early detection, when you're examining yourself and you're constantly doing diagnostics and you know, getting
scans.
Scans and diagnostics, and you're doing all these things. What do they always say? Early recognition is key.
Best recognition.
Yeah, that's the best. When you're able to get to a problem very quickly.
Yeah.
You know.
What they say, kill it at the root.
Yeah, kill it at the root.
Because when it branches off.
A
lot of people. That's why people with cancer. That's the hardest stage. When you're going through like stage 2, stage 3. Not only has your body developed it, but a lot of people, they say CTD, circling the drain. Not only are they dying, they can somewhat reverse it depending on the sequence. But the willpower has to be just as strong as the demon that's working to plummet them downhill, because they just like we were speaking about earlier, they physically have got a lust to whatever they're into, and your will has to be stronger than your lust, man. That's why in the faith, that's how we're gonna survive, and that's how we're gonna make it through this to the finish line. It's the will to win. You know, Mayweather always speaks about the will to win. You have to have a will to make it. Even when we go into these different rounds and these different bouts in the flesh, whether we getting sick or we falling and busting our ass in the faith, you gotta have the will, man. You have to have willpower. Power in the spirit can be ignited to burn and smolder everything outside of its base, or it can be quenched. So you have to examine, as the scripture says, to what's that? Let every man take heed wherein he standeth, lest thou fall, man. Be aware how you walk in this thing, and fight these demons, fight the adversity. The adversity is Satan. You know, any brothers got something?
I got something.
Okay.
It's Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
See, that goes to exactly what y'all brothers were saying. You better catch it early. You know what I'm saying? You better catch that demon, or you better, if you got most brothers got this truth at an early age. You caught it early. It's the same thing with catching a disease or cancer. Catching it early in the days of your youth, before them evil days come. So you catch stage 1 cancer before you got to stage 3, and now you can treat it better. You know what I'm saying? You can put yourself in a better predicament, in a better situation, if you caught it earlier than later. You know, what do they say? Nah, that's not the analogy. I was about to say you don't miss a good thing till it's gone, but you can kind of tie it into that.
Yeah,
because if you don't recognize that good thing you have early, and then it's gone, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's lost.
Then it's lost.
For the time, man.
You should have caught it while you had it. Get it while it's hot.
Get it while it gets good. A lot of people don't like to get it while it gets good. They want to get it and learn the hard way. See, we learn through wisdom. We see the destruction. We see all these things that we learn through observation, man.
Redeeming the time.
Redeeming the time. We see people on heroin. We see people on drugs and sick. So we like, nah, that ain't how I want to be. We get the vision. We learn through our surroundings, man. You know, to a certain degree, we're environmentalists, man. You know, we actually look and are circumspect. The scriptures speak about being a watchman, and we see how certain people fall through foolish actions, so that we learn how to walk the right direction. You know?
If I could say, it's actually a term called cognitive dissonance. All right, and that word, I'll just go into it. It's basically, in the field of psychology, cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort experienced by a person who simultaneously holds two or more contradictory beliefs, ideas, or values. So it's like when you know something is wrong, but you basically don't want to make that change to basically to counter it, you know, and that's cognitive dissonance. Like you know better, but you don't want to do better. All right, and that's that internal conflict within yourself that basically just like fuck it.
And it has to settle one way or another. That's the continual war.
Yeah, you either gonna continue you either gonna continue in the wrong way, because that at that point when you know better, you either gonna do better or you just gonna continue to make excuses for why you're gonna continue doing the wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And this is a little bit more on it. It says sometimes people hold a core belief that is very strong. When they are presented with evidence that works against that belief.
Yeah, and that's why you have something also known as normacy bias.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are biased to the norm, to what's actually feeling good because they've been conditioned a certain way. Romans 12, the 12 chapters. Somebody read that real fast, and we're gonna shoot it as an additive.
Yeah, I mean this lesson is blossoming, man, because it's so many
dynamics
to this topic.
Angles, there's so many angles and leverages that you have to look at when you're dealing with health, man. So this all still branches. We just spreading and blossoming it from the root of the topic. Still established on that one seed. Because all these different things go into the sicknesses, the mentality. Because a mentality comes with sickness, man.
Yeah.
It all starts from the spark of a thought.
Yeah. Behavioral change. Behavioral changes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you have a moon. And health. What was that we looked at earlier? Mood, health connection, so to speak.
Yeah. Mood and food correlation.
Mood and food correlation. So
basically, like it's like
you got because I was actually asking you.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, we're basically looking at how the foods that you eat are directly correlated with your mood and how your brain function and how you feel. That's why if you look at a lot of these people and they're depressed. And just, all the time, all have anxiety and all this stuff. It's because their diet is shitty. 9 times out of 10 is because their diet is shitty.
Yeah, and a lot of times either their diet, they're socially shitty, they're mentally shitty. I'm just gonna use the shitty on all the dynamics.
No, that's true.
On the category at hand, due to the fact that it's health in everything. You can get demons. Demons can be contracted through every form of life.
That's true.
And a lot of times our people, they don't have a connection with their power. They don't have a connection with their health, with the spirituality. You can't run from spirit, man. The scriptures speak about how you're going to walk in the shadow of death, man. Proverbs 21:16. A man that doesn't keep the words, basically, the words of understanding shall wander in the congregation of the dead. Now, they're not dead physically, but spiritually. And it breaks down to more micro sciences on how they're dead, man. Mm-hmm. They're physically functioning and actually animating themselves into the social regulations and the actions of the world, but spiritually their spirits is fucking jacked up, man.
Yeah, like you look at some of these obese. You look at some of these real obese people, man. That's depression, man. All these people that just gotta eat. That's depression because basically they're basically eating, trying to fill a void because that's the only thing that makes them. That's the only thing that gratifies their spirit. But it's such a temporary and it's such a temporary release. Dopamine. Yeah, that's all it is. Just temporary dopamine. All right, but that's depression, man. You look at a lot of these people's bodies just be finished. A lot of these people just be ugly as hell. You know, it's cause the foods they eat, man.
I got a quick
Go ahead, bro.
This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 12, verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
Yeah, and even when you go to, what's that? What's that Sirach 12 feet at touch of pitch? Like that.
Okay.
Shit.
Sirach.
Feet at touch of pitch. Sure. I just want to give a high illustration. I mean, you know, just regarding the point what the brother had spoke about. Because it says, there shall no evil touch them that's always occupied in good. So whatever you indulge in is going to actually resonate with the type of person you are. Characteristics build and they formulate your character. That's why when certain people say, I want to figure you out, it's basically to figure out what type of person you are. You know, your diet, how you live, what do you think about, how do you judge certain matters. All these different things are linked to the type of manner and the type of man you are. You know, so that's just like the brother said. When you do certain things, it's and you always occupied in good, whether it's health, spirituality, and different things of that nature. Tells you that also in Proverbs. He that is among the wise shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And this is Sirach 13:1.
Okay.
You got it? Okay.
This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 13, verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
Yeah, he that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith. You putting your hand into grime and mud. You put your hand in a ball of slop and you wallow and roll in it. When you come up, are you going to be clean? No, you're going to be filled in and bathed and drenched in shit. So it's all about what you indulge and how you carry yourself. That's why people say it. How you carry yourself, what you
are what you eat.
You are what you eat. That's why YAHAWASHI spoke about that. It's not what goes in the man's mouth, but what comes out that defiles himself. Because you have physical spirituality.
That's true.
And you have spiritual spirituality. There's still formats that still balance the scale on what manner of man you are.
Yeah.
You know? And all these different, like we were speaking about earlier, with it, how you live on your social life and things like that. Everything has a health base to it. You know? That's why things are broken up. With psychology, a lot of things are broken up into many tentacles.
Yeah.
And all these different things balance, and they are extensions of the core of the individual who's actually being controlled by the extensions.
Yeah, because if I could say, you always want to surround yourself with things and people that are beneficial to you.
Yeah.
All right, because what you keep around you is a reflection of you and your spirit. All right, so if you keep a bunch of grimy niggas, you know them hoes in high school, or I'll say this, you know how you had them quote unquote good girls, but they friends a lot of hoes.
She's a hoe.
You a hoe too.
She's a disciple of hoism.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they say? Birds of a feather
Flock together.
Flock together. Yeah.
And that's the thing about too. If you get a chick and you talk to her and her resume is nothing but fuckery, it's like why do these evil spirits have a magnetic pull to you, man?
Yeah.
Because anything that's you repel, if you a soccer player, you ain't gonna be really around basketball players.
Right. It's simple.
Soccer players are gonna absorb into your energy a lot of times through your clothing.
Yep.
You might wear soccer shirts and wear the brand. You're like, oh, you know
That's
about
true.
so and so team? Like, yeah, you know I did this and that, and that's when dialogues. Because this person actually has an excitement for the sport, and you have an excitement. That's how interest and chemistry. Chemistry goes back to the Hebrew word chum, which is the heat.
Yeah. And
so it's like whatever you attack, you can't keep yourself around cold spirits. That's why men get weeded out too.
Yeah.
A lot of guys be trying to be cold, keeping up with heat. It's like, yo, that when they say milk and oil don't mix, man.
Yeah, and that's beautiful because that's why we surround ourselves with like-minded brothers. And what's the common denominator? You know, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, the Spirit and the Bible.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know, just like the brother said, you know, soccer players only hang with soccer players. Guess what? What's our sport? These scriptures.
Yep.
These scriptures is our sport. That's what we're occupied in, right? So that's what keeps us together.
That's the glue.
Yeah, that's the glue. And also, like, everything around you, all your surroundings is a reflection of you. So who you keep around you, you know, if you look at someone's fridge, it's a reflection of them. You know, how they dress, it's a reflection of them.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what's a good
Wardrobe.
You know what's a good scripture with that? It says, the woman is the glory of the man.
Mm-hmm.
How your woman conducts herself at the house is a reflection on how you are.
Yeah.
So if she's acting a fool, the men who's at your house seeing your woman acting a fool is gonna be like, what kind of man are you? They ain't gonna be like, look at this. They're gonna be like, look at this.
And
guy.
your kids' behavior.
Yep. They're gonna be like, look at this. What
It's
are
a
you doing?
It's a reflection.
Mm-hmm.
All these things reflect and they show what manner of man you are.
Yeah.
That's how you have reasonings to judge. A lot of times when you deal with judgments, you look on a circular plane. You don't always look at the individual within the inside. You look at what builds up. Like a lot of times, that's why the Most High excuses us for a lot of things. How we grew up, when you in the ghetto and things of that nature, you naturally
Have nigga tendencies.
Yeah, you're not gonna be a king,
Yeah.
the king of the Duke of Spain in the middle of goddamn Bankhead. Hell out of here, man. That's not reality.
Yeah.
You're around niggas, you're gonna have that nigga spirit. But that's how we know it's through the mercy and divine power of YAHAWASHI that He sent the spirit out here so that we can all generate and connect through righteousness, man.
Yeah.
Starting out with our elders and apostles, the elder Abu Bivens and the apostles on down. Because, hey, if it wasn't through the Spirit of the Lord, we'd be dead by now, man.
Yeah.
Because through this Spirit, like the brother brought out earlier about Ezekiel, that's the Spirit. Above all, even, you know, we're on a health base, but above everything, whether you sick or whether you have infirmities, or you might not be the best looking brother, you might be an ex-con, drug addict, you have the Spirit of YAHAWASHI attached to your vessel that can supplement and that can bear the infirmities and everything that you are weak for. That's the power of the Savior, man.
I must needs.
Okay, you got it, bro.
It's 1 Timothy 4:8. For bodily exercise profiteth little.
Yeah, bodily exercise profit little. Nevertheless, it is a profit. The scripture is not. Matter of fact, read verse up.
Okay, Con.
You see that margin on the left? Does your Bible have a margin on the left? Okay, we can go to verse 7.
Yeah, 1 Timothy 4:7. But refuse profane and old wise fables, and exercise thyself rather unto godliness.
Yeah, see, but refuse
profane and old wives fables,
refuse profane and old wise fables,
and exercise thyself rather unto godliness.
Right. So it's about keeping away from evil spirits, and that's why He introduced the fact that. Next verse.
Gone. For bodily exercise profiteth little.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, even when you're doing physical exercise, and if you are evil character internally, it ain't no way you could get those spirits off you. You know, a lot of times they be enhanced to their demons, man. So Paul isn't saying don't exercise, don't take care and actually build your physical nature, so to speak, because your physical nature coexists with your spiritual nature.
Right.
So can I add to you, brother?
Yeah, there you go.
So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you.
Yeah, you are the template, or the temple. The temple is the body, so to speak. Your spirit is your canvas. Whenever you have a canvas, if you're an artist, whatever you sculpt and you put on that painting, that's the reflection. That's how you build off of that. So it's the same thing with your spirit on the whole. Whatever you indulge in, if you're into music or you break down and you're a lot of times, if you put yourself totally into music, you become what? A musician. That's the embodiment. If you're you're into psychology, you become a psychologist, sociologist, so on and so forth, spiritual. All these different things is how you build and enhance yourself. So read that.
Kind of. And I do want to read verse 17 as well. So this is 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you?
Yeah, and the Most High Spirit is divine and it's holy and it's dwelling through each and every one of us. And we have to groom it. You literally have to take care and maintain your spirit. The spirit can be took away from you.
Yeah.
It's in you for a set moment, so to speak, but will it always inhabit with you? That's the question.
That's the fear.
That's why the scriptures speak about in Sirach, how she may try you through her laws and her discipline, that she may trust your soul. So you have to grab and embrace. The scriptures speak about the embracement. All right, to embrace something is to hold tightly, to fasten it within your spirit, so it can be at one. That's Sophia. You going?
God, if any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to defile your temple, man.
Kind of, if I could say, because it says, if any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy. Because when you read Revelation 3, was that 20, when he sup with you, just think about that. So YAHAWASHI knocked on that door, okay, and you let him in. So you let him into your temple, but your temple got trash and shit everywhere, okay? You're defiling your temple, okay?
You're making an ass out of yourself.
You're making an ass out of yourself. And then when you read Malachi, it says, because you offer polluted bread unto mine altar. And we were just in Romans 12. Romans 12 and 1 says, present yourself as a living sacrifice. You're supposed to be a clean sacrifice. Okay?
Pure.
So if you're
defiling blemish.
there you go. So if you got blemishes and you're not white as snow, like Psalms the 51st chapter says, then you're defiling your temple. Therefore, you are worthy to be destroyed. You know,
be ye perfect, even as your Father is heaven.
That's right, and that's why the brother Gamaliel beautifully brought out that Peter, the bodily exercise profited little. It's that little that counts.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
What it say? Be not ignorant in the small matter.
Yeah.
It
didn't say that. It didn't say it don't benefit at all.
Yeah.
So if it's profiting little, think about this too. This is a vessel that we're in, and your spirit's controlling it. Give your spirit a good vessel to control, and then in turn you will be a good sacrifice. You won't be a polluted bread amongst the altar. You won't be defiling your temple. And like I said earlier, when you have faith, everything falls into place. When you have discipline, everything falls into place. When you have a clean temple, everything falls into place. You know?
That's
So
how the Most High Spirit can only dwell within you. You want to say something?
No, you got it, brother.
Yeah, because having a clear mind is ultimately kind of like having a clear spirit, a clean spirit. You know.
That's beautiful, because in Titus' 2nd chapter it says, exhort to have a sober mind.
Yes.
And when you go into that word sober, it means to be in your right mind.
Yeah.
To have a sound.
To not be tainted. Tainted or defiled by the unsoberly actions and the drunkenness that the world indulges and intoxicates themselves within.
That's beautiful, because even when you read a verse above in that Peter, it says not giving into them fables. And when you go back to Titus, doesn't it say not giving into Jewish fables?
I'll read it one more time.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's 1 Timothy 4 and 7. But refuse profane and old wives' fables.
See, that's polluting. That would be polluting yourself and not doing that. Health is wealth, man.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Do you mind, Akim?
No.
Get that Revelation chapter 14 and 4.
Come on.
Because that's a prime example of the health is wealth, man. Because they weren't defiled. It doesn't it say that you weren't defiled. They didn't. The elect 144 not defiling their temples. They understood what that health was, and that's what got them the wealth, man.
Yep, that's why we're literally chastity virgins, man. We got in the spirit, we got a chastity belt, so we ain't going a whoring.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of our people, they got their legs open to every man and women,
Come on.
anything that
Oh,
want to
yes.
come inside, we close our legs. Hey, that's
Being whores.
You know, even when you close your leg, that's considered proper.
Mm.
When the word proper goes to being property, a lot of times people close their legs because they showing signals of being property to another individual. That's a form of etiquette.
That's a
You know?
lesson in itself, right?
And,
there.
Yeah, that's like you have Eastern etiquette, you have Western etiquette. How you carry yourself shows that you property of somebody else.
Yeah.
You know how like
Yeah.
certain people, we put that block button on them.
Yeah.
Like nah, man. People try to come against the scriptures. We put the
Yeah.
Heisman on them. They be like, yeah, see, he's a defender of something. You know.
Yeah, because you got that word also, decorum.
Mm-hmm.
Decorum means to have good taste.
Mm.
You know, have good taste and be
Well-mannered.
polite, well-mannered, etiquette. You know, and that's that's through the Spirit. You know, the Spirit is basically perfecting us through the Word to where we're being purified and cleansed in the mind and spiritually and physically.
Yep.
You know?
By day,
Oh,
being
man.
renewed.
Yeah.
By
But
day.
you Revelation 12:4.
Hey,
Revelation 12
you
and 4.
might as well just hold that Psalm 51 as well, man, because that talks about King David was talking about clean my heart.
Oh,
Yeah,
You can
bring it
even
out.
start where purge me with hyssop.
Yeah, bring it
You know?
out. Bring it out.
Because that whole chapter is it's like a purifying. You know what I'm saying? It says hide my, blot my transgressions out, hide my face. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It talks about, you can bring that out
Okay.
because we were talking about defiling.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not defiling yourself, you're purging yourself.
Purging.
What's the opposite? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So you can go ahead and go.
Yeah.
It's Revelation 14:4. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they were virgins.
Mhm.
These are they which followed the Lamb wheresoever he goeth.
That's right. And the Lamb is YAHAWASHI. And these are them, when they're speaking, I say 11:44, that what strange women being other philosophies, dipping and dabbling in Jewish fables.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
exactly what it is. Yep.
Because when you read about the strange woman there, you can just go back to
Proverbs. Yep.
and it will clarify what that strange woman is.
And it says, "Call wisdom thy woman, and call what knowledge thy kinswoman, that she may keep thee from the strange woman."
So
That's that whore, man. You got to keep yourself from that slut, so to speak. That's trying to slut you out.
Yeah.
and that's what Israel got caught up in.
That's why these scriptures always say, "When a whoring."
Mhm.
To go a whoring, whores are known through their seductresses. That's why scriptures say how though your sins be red as scarlet. Scarlet is a color of seduction. That's why women wear what? Lipstick. Lipstick.
Right.
The red is a resemblance of their vagina. That's actually symbolizes actually sex. Sex.
The
Red is-
Matrix.
The Matrix, the girl in the red dress.
Yeah, that's what he.
Yeah, beautiful.
And he
Wow.
caught him. Yep.
Hey, look,
Yep.
he got caught up with that strange woman.
He got caught with that woman. He got
Next thing you know, you got an Asian in front of your face with a gun.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
not
In
paying
this case,
attention.
it will be a missile in front of your face
Mhm.
for getting caught up with that woman in the red dress, man.
That's beautiful.
You know?
Hey, didn't even Kanye come out with that song, "Devil in the Red
Devil in
Dress"?
a red dress. Yeah. Hey,
These
y'all
niggas
was
know,
breaking. Everyone's breaking it down, man.
You can get that song
Go
for you. You
ahead.
can start at one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Psalms 51 and 1.
Because the whole
Start at 2. You can start at 2.
You was done with that Revelation stuff?
No, that's a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and whole Psalm 19 and,
These-
and 12.
These were the redeemed from among men,
Mhm.
bringing the first fruits.
To be redeemed is bought back.
Yeah, and the king is on a long journey. That's why the virgins, that's why we have to be on our chastity belts,
Mhm.
man. A lot of times when women put on chastity belts is because kings, they'll go to war and they'll go outside of the province for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. And they put a chastity belt to chastise. So we represent those virgins that's being chast in our house, studying, gaining knowledge to please the king when he comes back. That's why when Yahawashi comes, we're going to have the talents to say, okay, if 2 talents was into 4, so on and so forth, and then we'll be able to be joint heirs and to be in glory with the kingdom,
That's
and
right.
not like these assholes that was going whoremongering, getting pimped out by the Esau and the projects.
Uh-huh.
That's treason, man. And the act of treason is death.
That's right. That's right.
All right, no trial, no nothing. You got And who's the witnesses? Us.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah.
be pointing.
We see it.
We put the numbers on everyone through the lenses, man.
Mm-hmm.
Proverbs 15 and 3, but it says the angels of the Lord are everywhere beholding the evil and the good.
Go
Because you
back
have
to that
celestial.
rock.
The celestial angel is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is one.
Yeah.
Terrestrial is one. We looking through our lenses, and the angels is looking through the celestial lenses, which is the spiritual and the physical correlation.
That's right.
So the Most High even sees that the Most High is everywhere.
That's beautiful.
He has his chip in us already.
That's beautiful. Cause
Yeah.
like you're saying, the celestial, like, what we're angels too, man. We're Malachi's.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because what his name is
messenger.
my messenger.
Yeah.
Which angel means messenger.
Mhm.
We're Malachi's right now. We're the celestial and
Terrestrial. Yeah.
Yeah.
You going there,
We're
brother.
spiritual. Yeah, we're spiritual
God.
beings
That's heavy.
in the flesh.
Yup.
You know, in terrestrial bodies, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly
right.
right.
That's
You got a
right.
bit more on that.
It's just a little bit. It says,
Mhm.
being the first fruits unto Yahawah
Mhm.
and to the land.
That's right. The first fruits. You know, that goes back to the ones who were predestined.
Yep.
You know,
First
from
fruits.
the jump, man.
Yep. First fruits is always known to be the first markers of the inheritance. A
Mhm.
king always requires his first fruits. He
It's
don't want
even,
the last.
it's even in the law.
Uh-huh.
He said your firstlings, offer your
Mhm.
firstlings, nothing, don't give nothing to Leviticus 22.
Mm.
It speaks about not giving the lame, the blind, the sick, per
Mhm.
se. He wants your firstlings, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He don't want that.
Yeah,
Yo, sloppy seconds,
he
man.
don't want the second, third generation.
Yeah.
He required the first. That's how you know we the first fruits in the first generation.
Yeah.
Because the Lord always required that the stock. The stock is
Yep.
the stock actually goes down through generations,
Mhm.
and that's why the Most High calls our people degenerates, because to degenerate is to take away from generations. As generations proceed, they're supposed to increase. Our people broke the generational chain, man. It's supposed to be generational blessings. They made it a generational curse, man.
Mm-hmm.
What it say in Lamentations, the 5th chapter? Our fathers.
You want me to get it?
Yeah, Lamentations, 5 and 10. Our fathers have sinned and we are not.
Yeah.
And we have born the iniquities. And then I'll throw it back to you. Y'all brother,
Yeah.
right after that.
So
Just after that, you know.
And spirit got us branching out.
Gone.
You know, it's beautiful. Though.
But it's all spiritual.
It
It's
all
all health.
connects. Yep.
It's all that. It falls on all along the degrees of health.
I got you.
You know. You got it.
This is Lamentations 5 and 7. Our fathers have sinned.
Who
That-
are
that's what you
fathers?
want, right?
Yep, that's it. Our fathers are our forefathers. All right. Our fathers have sinned, meaning they broke the law, statutes, and commandments that was embedded in place in these scriptures. Keep going.
And are not.
And are not. To be not is to be dead. Our fathers have sinned and they're dead. Keep going.
And we have borne their iniquity.
We have born Psalms 51, which talks about how he was born into
Born-
sin,
Yeah, with the mother.
conceived in iniquity.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, let's get it,
Come.
man.
All right, this is
Keep
some-
going.
Yeah,
the flesh.
That's the flesh. That's
Mhm.
exactly what it is. All right, this is Psalms 51 and 1. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies.
Mhm.
Blot out my transgressions.
If I could bring something out,
Go ahead, bro.
super quick, because he said he was speaking about the mercies, and this is in the Apocrypha, the prayer of Manasseh, the king of Judah, and you can read about him in 2 Chronicles, the 33rd chapter. He was slapped off, and then he repented though. You know what I'm saying? He was sacrificing his children, I think, to like, I may be going on Molech or
Yeah,
one of
a lot
them,
of times.
one of them
yeah.
guys.
More like mean king.
Mhm. But King David said his mercies, and this is what the king of Manasseh was saying. He's like, "Thou, O Lord, according to thy great goodness, have promised repentance and forgiveness to them that have sinned against thee, and of thine infinite mercies has appointed repentance unto sinners." So this, don't you think King David was before Manasseh?
Mm-hmm.
So don't you think
Yeah.
Manasseh had read some of this to understand that the Lord has mercy?
Understood the concept.
He understood the concept. So you can keep going. Yeah.
Kind of beautiful. According to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgression.
That's right.
Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity, and cleanse me from my sin.
That's right.
For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me.
I acknowledge my transgressions and my sins are ever. That's called wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
To acknowledge what's wrong with you. We were speaking about earlier. If you catch the cancer or that demon,
prudence. It's scripture say a
Yeah.
prudent man foreseeth evil and
Yeah.
hideth himself. So you
Yeah.
already have that's the spirit of a visionary. To have a
Yeah.
vision,
that's beautiful.
you look and you foresee. Okay, if I go down this road, I know what it's gonna take. It's gonna
Yep.
take me in. Most High gave us that.
That's that Proverbs 16:1.
Well, that's
the
what the
preparation
word-
of a man's heart.
That's what the word prophet means. To basically
There
see.
you go. Before.
Yeah, and the
There you
prophets were known as seers.
Uh-huh.
So
That's
we're
right.
seeing things at early, because you have early signs of you have
Mhm.
early signs of things.
That's right.
And right now, I mean, really, years ago, the apostles and elders, they caught early signs of the scriptures and the spirit.
That's
All
right.
right, and the downfall of this kingdom.
That's
You know,
right. And another thing, he said, acknowledge my transgressions. He caught early signs of him being unhealthy, which we're going into.
And that goes back to examining yourself.
Mhm.
Doesn't it say examine yourself
Yeah.
whether you?
And
You
you
being a faith
even when you
person.
look at examinations, you gotta look at examinations from a scientific or a. Say for instance, I'll give this an example. When you look at people in like coroners after death, they examine the body. You know how detailed.
Yeah.
You have to understand the function. It's kind of like a magnifying type of thing.
Oh,
Magnify-
autopsies.
Autopsies, MRI scans. You have a scan that'll go through every part, and they could detect the algorithm on the body, how it's actually.
It's crazy. That takes hours too, because I've actually had an MRI before. You
See?
know, you have to lay there and be still and let the thing like search you pretty
Yeah,
much.
that shit costs money, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's money for examination, so to have that spirit, that's the wealth of the spirit of YAHAWASHI. You gotta look at these things. It's not. It's what the Most High. And I'm not saying that brothers don't, but as even I speak expressly on how I'm looking. I gotta examine these things too, as we all examine the different aspects of the truth, because all these different things initiates and they revolve around the spirit of power, man.
Yeah.
As a king in a kingdom, you always do what? Look at a lion. How a lion does. He's always going around his province, his kingdom. He knows how far his kingdom reaches. Lions know outside territory through pheromones and things of that nature. So they understand boundaries. They understand how many lions they have, lionesses, how many they're expecting to produce offspring in certain summers. They know outsiders. They know danger zones. They know where crocodiles is.
Yep.
So it's hyenas. It's gotta be. You have to examine these things. And I gotta look. I'm gonna keep going on this.
Come.
It says, "For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight. Thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts." So David, through the 5th and the 6th verse, he understood that it was a great distinction between two parts of him. The outward part that was shapen in iniquity, and the sin that was basically embedded and hardwired in his DNA to actually have an attachment to the worldly things, and the spirit that was attached to the Most High. Paul spoke about the same thing. That's why we're going into this health is wealth. You have to do the things which is most healthy for you, which is to attract to the spirit of YAHAWASHI and build, grow, and flourish and blossom, and to repel the things of the flesh, man. That's the only way you can grow, because both worlds can't grow together. One is going to crush and diminish the next.
Scripture says, serving two masters.
You can't serve two
Spirit,
masters.
you know,
Yeah.
it's the spirit.
Con. What's
Yeah.
that word? Master or boss? That's the Lord. That's what's over you on the whole, man. Your flesh can be over you, or your spirit. But the spirit is always creeping, man. That's why it's known as Satan. But it says the fiery darts of the wicked. That snake that's always looking to seep his poison in the flesh to seduce you. It's a seducing spirit. All right. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, And in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom.
He desired truth. You can keep going.
Purge me with hyssop, and thou shalt be clean. Wash me, and thou shalt be whiter than snow.
See, that's beautiful, man. It's talking about washing, man. When you go into the shower, when you go, I'm gonna say that point. A lot of things running through my head. When you go into the shower or in the bathtub, when you wash yourself, I think in there it talks about washing thoroughly.
Yeah, that's in the first.
Yep. 2. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity.
See, he says, wash me thoroughly. Doesn't the scripture say, what Israel laden with iniquity?
Iniquity.
Yeah.
So it's like sin upon sin upon sin. So what I wanted to say, like when you're in the shower and you're washing yourself, you don't just half-ass it, per se. You wash yourself thoroughly and get everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's asking the Lord to do. And when you skip down and they said, purge me with hyssop, it says, make me clean, right?
Make me clean.
Make me clean. So he's asking them to purge everything off of him.
Yeah, because
in turn you'll be healthy.
Yeah, because before we come in this truth, we're a nigga, man. All right, and the Lord, you know, we're dirty, filthy, grimy niggas in Babylon. All right, and then when the Lord basically gives us this truth, all right, He puts that pressure washer on us, you know, and just getting all that dirt and grime off of us and getting all those nigga ways off of us, you know. But that's spiritually what's happening, you know, and to where you're no longer, you know, you may have small remnants or little specks of dirt here and there, but for the most part you're clean. You know, you might have little, you know, might have little specks of, you know, might have to dust the crib every now and then. Might have to get a duster every now and then. You know, but for the most part, your crib is, you know, it's not like a big trash heap.
Yeah, a lot of times,
you know?
and a lot of times when you first come in, you know, you have a lot of, you know, different worldly ways. So that's the highest purging process. And even in the truth, it's always a constant examination and constant purge, because we constantly are contracted by demons. When we enter the world, we are subject unto the society we live in. So the people in our area, like scriptures speak about heavily how when people were sick, they would have to shut themselves in houses. People don't do these things. It's unclean spirits that's constantly revolving and that's attaching themselves onto us. So we have to always cleanse and purge our spirits, you know. And I'll read last 2 verses, and if anybody want to, you know, preach something.
I got something we can close up on.
All right, purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy.
We should be pure.
Yep. And it said, though thy sin be scarlet, it shall be whiter than snow. And you're gonna be pure to heart.
Yep.
Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. So the Most High is breaking us to build us up. Hide thy face from my sins and blot out all mine iniquities.
And that's a good prayer to say, man. That's like a repentance prayer.
Yeah.
You know? It's like a repentance prayer. Say that I say that in Hebrew every single day, man.
Yeah, that's heavy. You know, this is one of the most popular prayers today.
Yeah.
Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is when he slept with Bathsheba. Yeah? To the chief musician going to the top, it says, a song of David when Nathan the prophet came unto him.
That's right.
After he had gone into Bathsheba.
That's
so
when
it was a lot of spirit.
He gave him that parable or that riddle, pretty much.
Yeah, and
He's like, that man
should be put to death. That's what David was like. He should be put. And David, he examined that was him, and he was jacked up.
Yeah.
All right. So it says, create in me a clean heart.
Sober mind.
Yep. Oh, Yahawah, and renew a right spirit within me. Which right goes back to righteous. Because sometimes you'll be wrong, and you got to examine when you're wrong. Diagnose the symptoms, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
That's how you figure out your health. Your health levels can be high. They can be base, so to speak, and they can really go into that danger zone. So
Blood sugar
level.
that blood sugar level, you be jacked up. You gotta spike that thing. You gotta get it back and regulate it regulate your blood sugar levels to its balance, man. Scriptures speak about false balance is abomination.
Yeah. I got something to close out on. It's Sirach 38 and 4. The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. And that, that was
good.
That was the main topic we were going in on, is basically, taking care of our bodies, all right, which everything we talked about, spiritual maintenance, all these things connect and tie into growing. The main thing that we're motivating here is growth, on all levels, physical, spiritually, mentally, all right. And we have to take care of our bodies and maintain and constantly create new better patterns, create better living habits, all right, wellness, going to health and wellness. All right, these are things that we have to go into so that we can be better vessels, better, cleaner vessels to worship our Creator. And that's something that our camp in particular has been doing. And other camps, across Great Millstone, especially going to the Passover, we had to cleanse our bodies out of this filth, and try to eat better. Try to, always strive to be better, man.
Yeah.
No matter what position you're in, always strive to be better.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna skip down to 10, and we'll close out on this. It says, actually, no, I'm gonna do 9. My son, in thy wickedness, be not negligent. Which that word negligent basically means to better, but you're basically like you refuse to do better.
To neglect.
To neglect, yeah. And it says,
Scripture say neglect not the gift that is within thee, which was given to thee by prophecy and laying of the hands of the presbytery.
God, yep.
So
yep.
we all gifted, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's the talent. We all have a gift. We all have a power in us. But it's all about if you utilize it or you basically put it on the shelf and which is neglect.
Neglect, yeah. Neglect not the gift. Yeah, it says, Sirach 38 and 9. My son, in thy sickness, be not negligent, which we're all sick, man. We're sick in Babylon, man. Physically and spiritually, we're sick of this fucking place. It says, but pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole, which he's going to make us whole. All right? All we have to do is pray. Even these herbs and stuff that we take and all these natural remedies and stuff, we have to pray that it's effective and that it helps us grow in the spirit.
Yes. This is spiritually holistic life.
Yeah.
Health goes back to the word whole.
Mm-hmm.
In order to be healthy, you have to be whole. That's why health is broken down when you read books. You have vitamin A, B.
Got
Most of
holistic
B's.
books.
Yeah, you have B6, B12. Just like the brother said, holistic books will go into minerals, vitamins, nutrients, trace minerals, and all these, all the things that come with it. Because all these things balance your spirit.
Yeah.
And this is all this. This has the vitamin C. That's why the scripture is known as sweet. Sweet as honey, bitter. It's spicy. It has pain. It has woe. It has lamentation. And it's the gospel. It's good news. It's all the vitamins and minerals that your spirit actually needs to sustain. That's why YAHAWASHI said that he that is sick, he that is whole needeth not a physician, but them that are sick. And what is the physician? The word. YAHAWASHI is the word. John 1:1.
Yeah. Verse 10. Leave off from sin and order thine hands aright, and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
Yeah, purge your heart from all wickedness.
Yeah, that's plain and simple, And that's basically what we're pushing out is to cleanse your heart, cleanse on all levels. Become closer to your power. All right, become a better person and strive for perfection. Keep the laws to the best of your ability. All right, and just strive for righteousness.
Yeah, that's right. You want to say something? Come on, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Come on.
Come.
Go
Go ahead. No, if you want to say something. Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like the brother said, man, it's just a health lesson spiritually and physically for brothers to, be conscious, health conscious, spiritually conscious, and observe yourself on all manners so that you can actually stimulate and benefit yourself through all aspects and, levels in the truth, so you don't just wax dormant or wax dull. This truth is about being sharper and sharper. Scriptures speak about how iron sharpeneth iron. All right, and if you have brothers in your reading too, motivate each other when it comes to health. A lot of times as an individual, you kind of lack a lot of self motivation. It comes with being a man. Sometimes you lack a lot of self motivation. The spirit needs motivation around you. So if brothers is around, hey, you might have to poke that man.
Call your brother up. Call your brother up and let him know, hey, let's go running in the morning. Let's go. Let's take a walk. Or something. Get the blood flowing.
Yeah, and it's always about kicking shots and eating chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a nigga, So just like the brother said, exercise and things of that nature, because you'll see how you benefit as an individual and as a body on a whole. So, that's all we have for you, Akim. Hopefully you brothers are edified. We're going to end it by giving our praises to
Yahawah,
BAHASHAM,
Yahawashi,
BAHASHAM,
Rakah,
Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom,
Shalom.
Akim.
Shalom.
Shalom.